it's right. We can talk about anything you like. Just listen. Take a walk right over to my kitchen. What you wanna do? Come mix it up with the stew. So tell me what you wanna do. Come mix it up with the stew. Yeah, come mix it up with the stew.
Well, clearly, someone is very excited to be back on air for the stew. Hey guys, I'm Anika.
I'm Janae.
And who's this?
This is Les.
Hey.
Don't adjust your TVs.
Okay.
And no, I'm not a new co-host. Still the same old Les. This is what I call hashtag blame it on Matthew. But it's lovely though, don't you think?
Gotcha.
So
All right.
it is the Hurricane Matthew aftermath, clearly.
Yes.
And it's been a week we're full of emotions, really. We've had ups, we've had downs, mainly downs. Last week, Hurricane Matthew, a Category 4 storm, when it hit, completely ripped through the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Nassau was greatly affected. We were quite fortunate. But our family islands, Andros in particular, Grand Bahama, really suffered during this time. So we're going to take this segment to really go through the aftermath of Hurricane Matthew, how everyone feels. Did the government have a plan of action during this time? But first, girls, I want to know how y'all are doing. How did the storm treat you?
Well, I'm good. I was actually in one of the areas that the government advised to evacuate. So I did leave my area and I spent the hurricane with family. So I was fortunate in that sense. I was surrounded by family and loved ones. We were lucky. I gotta say, we were lucky. And it's to the point where when I see the damage that we faced in comparison to some of the images that I'd seen online and what have you since Matthew passed, I honestly felt guilty for feeling as lucky as, I'm sorry, I'm even getting choked up, but literally, just in comparison, I feel truly blessed because, yeah, we had some fences down, trees down, a few shingles here or there, but nothing incredibly major in comparison to those that have lost lives. I want, of course, mention the devastation in Haiti as well, because as we all know, their numbers for the loss of life, unfortunately, are close to 1,000. And so we really do have to keep them in our thoughts and prayers because they were completely devastated. I saw some images that it just doesn't even look like anyone can live in these areas.
It's hard to imagine that it was the same hurricane when you
I know,
look
exactly.
at, like you said already, the differences, between across
It's
islands
like day and night, yeah.
and in Haiti. So I guess my feeling for this whole thing, especially post-hurricane, is that I just hope Bahamians truly, truly, truly realize how blessed they are. And I get it, it's annoying if your roof blew off or you have to replace a roof. But what is that in comparison to having your life?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so my heart goes out to people in Freeport and Andros in particular. And it hurts even more because it's like these islands can't catch a break. We just had Hurricane Joaquin.
Yes.
And so it's hard to imagine that we're here in the capital and we are able to like bounce back in a couple of days. And it's been the opposite for other people.
So in terms of what's been going on, social media has played a huge role
Yes.
in the Hurricane Matthew, the unfolding of events. One of which is the gas dilemma that we were plagued with. If you drove your car at all last week, you could hardly get anywhere. And it stemmed from a WhatsApp message that was completely fake that went out saying that there was a gas shortage.
Yeah.
So people flocked to any gas station that they can find with their gas containers and they filled up.
Yeah.
Did you guys drive? Because that was...
I honestly, I stayed off of the roads and I avoided it at all
Well,
costs.
you're smart.
I
You're
filled
good.
up before the storm.
Listen.
That might be something
No,
you might
listen,
want to do,
yeah.
people, if you haven't done it before. So I didn't need
No, but
gas.
I did fill up before the storm, which
And-
is a great plan that you should
Yeah.
always do, or carry out rather. But by I think the second or third day, I was about to be like hard on E.
Yeah.
And
so you got caught up in that.
I did.
Wow.
And luckily I found one really great gas station. But yeah, it was interesting to see the aftermath. And did we really have a contingency plan? What are your thoughts?
Well, the PM did make an address after the storm. I think the Royal Bahamas Defense Force was there, and a few NEMA was there.
Yeah.
And they spoke.
It was
that was
before
before
the
the
storm,
storm. Yeah. And there was the evacuation plan,
Right.
which everyone's kind of wondering, was it carried out correctly? One argument is that, you know, they really should have forced people out.
Yeah.
Right.
In these areas where there would have been a surge, where flooding was going to be prevalent. But they pretty much said, you know, we strongly advise you to move.
Right.
And they mobilized teams to go and help anybody who was stuck in the storm or needed rescuing. But do you think they should have been
that they
forced
should have
out of
forced
their home?
them out.
Yes.
I don't know. Can you really force anybody out
I
of
feel
their
like
home?
in that case where it's tended or it was predicted to be catastrophic.
Yeah.
You know, because the issue is, I get it, you don't want to force people out of their houses, but the issue with that is when they don't evacuate and then the weather is indeed terrible,
Yeah.
then you still have to go back and rescue
Exactly.
them. And so
Yeah.
now you're putting double lives in danger
Yeah.
because you have these
Yeah.
men
No,
and
this is
women who
true.
are working frontline every day. They want to be home with their families too,
Right.
but they're here rescuing those who didn't
But
want to
at the same time, I do get it for those that were advised to leave and didn't leave. You know, you've worked your entire lives to acquire your home, your property, and now to be told, you know, you have to leave, especially if you are one of those individuals that have allowed so much time to go by and you've, you know, gotten a little bit spoiled thinking, oh, it may not come or, oh, it may not be
But
as
what is
bad.
that compared to your life,
But-
right? Because if
Exactly.
lives were lost,
Yeah.
then we would have been having a completely
I get
different
it.
conversation
I get
here.
it all around.
They should have been told to get out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really just it's a matter of perspective in this case. A lot of people say, you know, there should have been a plan. I mean, they do it in Florida. They
Right.
get people out, you
Yeah.
know.
But you know what? I have to say, though, shout out to all of the Bahamians, though, that did take heed, because I think this is probably one of the first hurricanes that I can recall ever going through. And having been told you should evacuate if you're in a certain area, and people did actually do that. So shout out to all of the people that, you know, followed the advice and sought shelter, because that was a first for me.
Exactly. So talking about MVPs, quickly, Hurricane Matthew MVP in your mind.
BTC. Yeah.
That data was on fleek.
Yeah, I was able to
It
still
was
scroll
intermittent,
through.
but
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
post out a day, I think.
Yeah, BTC for sure.
Yeah.
What about
Leslie?
you?
For me, it was water and sewage.
Oh yeah, you got a bed.
Listen.
You bathe every day for
There
the
is
storm?
nothing like running water from a tap.
So you bathe every day?
I
Nice and
did.
chilly. I like
apologize.
it.
Bathe every
Granted,
day?
it was cold because the water heater wasn't on, but I thank God. I really do. You know, I'm really not trying to sound conceited or insensitive, but I appreciate that water and sewage held it up.
She needs to bathe. Can you answer? Did you bathe every day? Bathe every day?
It was,
Sinead, why are
it
you
was a
struggling with
vacation
this?
It was a vacation from that, right? Oh, I think she's avoiding that question. So moving right along. Yeah. What did you all learn about yourselves through the hurricane?
I learned that I'm very resourceful.
That's good.
I was able to dodge every dark corner
Okay.
that had no light and find light
I
in
think
somebody's
that has a
house.
double meaning somehow.
So yeah, I just avoided like the power outage, which I thought was very impressive. So
I gotcha.
Any family member that I could find,
I
I knocked
got you.
on their door and I
Yes,
said, "Hey,
yes.
just one night."
Okay.
And then let me bathe.
Okay.
Thank God for the water.
Yes.
Okay,
honey.
okay.
But enough about that. And you?
I think I learned that I may have ADD. I needed to have something
You
to
died
do.
about that internet, didn't you?
And it's not internet just for foolery, but it's hard for me to turn off work sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was pining around, and I had my family watching the stew on my laptop.
Okay.
Every night the power was off, and I still had life in my
Right,
battery.
right.
I made my family watch the stew. So yeah, that was
But
fun.
it's interesting enough. I spent the actual storm at the hotel because I had to work.
Right.
And like our where
you have
where
like
I
little headquarters.
work.
Yeah. set
Yeah, we
up.
had to set up a mobile office
Okay.
to actually do work the
Girl
entire
boss.
I think I saw that on
time.
Instagram. Now that you say that.
Yeah, so that's how I was able to dodge no light for some time.
Quickly, before we wrap this segment up, ladies, what do you think about the debate in terms of ungratefulness?
And so he's doing a lot of
versus
incredible
being
and
grateful?
amazing
People
initiative.
were saying that if you were complaining about not having power, that you are being ungrateful. Did you agree or disagree?
I tried to stay out of that.
I did
obviously.
too. I did myself.
But Leslie, that was a big argument on social media. At the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So if you felt a certain way about not having light, you just felt that way. But you're
Right.
not to taking away from what's happening in Haiti, what's happening in
Exactly.
Andros. I mean, it's all a matter of saying how you feel, but understanding what's going on.
Exactly.
But we could talk about this for
I know.
for very long.
Forever and ever.
So after the break, we've got a special guest who basically told us everything you needed to know about Hurricane Matthew in his own unique way. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're back with the stew, and in this segment, we have an extra special guest. I'm so excited to introduce him. He is known as a WhatsApp sensation by creating music in a very comedic way, highlighting social issues and PSAs. Without any further interruptions, let's introduce Joel Solo Dill.
I thought there were like 20 of us here. I'm so excited.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
So, yes, Joel is your real name, but you are known as Solo.
That's me.
And you have become a WhatsApp sensation because you've created quite a number of songs now based on Shawnee Miller diving over the
Right.
finish line for the gold, BPL, Bahamas, and most recently, Hurricane Matthew.
Yes.
And the thing is, you didn't create just one song. You created 2 songs for Hurricane
Right,
Matthew.
2.
What was that process like, and how did you do it? How did you write the song so
well,
quickly?
I try to listen, like how you get some people, they see things.
Right.
And you say they crazy. But they could see something that you can't see.
Okay.
It's the same thing with music. I could hear it. I could hear the rhythm, and I could hear the words, and I could hear the chorus. So once I obtain the chorus, the verses is pretty much self-explanatory. They just flow.
You sound like you were born to do this. You
Yes.
believe that?
Yes.
Because when you describe it like that, that is very inspiring to hear.
Yeah.
Tell us, do you have a background in music, or is this just something that you woke up one day and you're like, you know what,
Yeah.
this issue just happened?
Just try it out.
Let me just make a song.
Well, I've been singing since 2004. I first got kind of an international break when I was featured in We Need Peace song with Landlord. We need peace. Oh, yeah. So I was inside of that. And ever since then, I guess this time is my season. Yeah.
Let's talk about the distribution of your songs, because we brought it up. You're a WhatsApp sensation. What is the strategy behind getting your songs out to the public?
The strategy, let me let you know the secret.
Yes.
Give us the scoops.
When I first did it, I was inspired by 2 persons in our WhatsApp group that I'm in, Vanessa Clark and Keith Roll. When the bridge toll came, and the bridge toll was $2, they was like, well, you need to do a song for the bridge toll. So I took the challenge, and then when I took the challenge, I tried to see what the people saying. You know what I mean? If you be more relating to the people, then your music becomes more, it holds more resonance.
Right.
You know, so I say the bridge code gone $2. The workers got to pay $2. The people who there, who coming over the bridge, they got to pay $2. The taxi drivers, okay, so the people trying to take all our quarters. The bridge toll gone up $2. You know what I mean? So
That happens to be my favorite, by the way. I absolutely loved it the very first time I heard it. But I'm curious because I noticed that every time something happens in the country, it seems like within 24 to 48 hours, I'm getting a WhatsApp with a solo song attached. How are you able to push these out so quickly? Because there's music and everything, chorus.
yeah, it's a full 100.
Beat, baseline, beat.
Well, I have a small setup home, and when I get the time, normally what happens now is some people call me or text me and say, hey, what happened to my song? You know, or they'll say, hey, I waiting. Like with the Shawnee that died for it, I didn't even know she did win gold.
Oh, wow.
But that morning, I got a few texts coming in saying, even on Facebook, I had messages, and they was waiting.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
I was able to let a few people, you know, y'all do your thing, and they didn't come as strong as they supposed to, and then they was waiting on me, and I say, you know what, she died for this gold. We like die for conch. So die for it, die for it.
You even had a little ode to Bahamas Air in there when you said we don't just,
fly
here.
Yeah, we dive here. I thought he was coming to Silver. Come from around here.
Yeah.
Solo, tell us some things about yourself that your fans may not know about you, because I hear your music, but I don't know who Solo is. Like,
Solo.
I know nothing about him. He's mysterious.
Yeah.
So help to clear up some mystery for me right now. tell me a
Solo
little
is a
about you.
humble, joyful individual, as you could see. I'm married. I got 2 kids. Yes, and I like to work. I love music. You know what I mean? I love music, and hopefully in the near future I'll be able to do it full force rather than me just working on the side and then doing what I love second, you know. But that's me. You know, what you see is what you get. That's me every day.
When did you realize that you were a star through WhatsApp and no longer a one-hit wonder?
I guess when I did the second song, apart from $2, which was Oh Well Coming Home, Well Mother Sick, Brethrens, they just a bunch of crap, people charging us for WhatsApp. That's when BTC was charging us for WhatsApp. And when that went out again and then that became viral, then I say, you know what, then it seems as though some people listening, you know what I mean? So I just try, my strategy is to listen what's really going on and what everybody feeling. You know what I mean? What everybody feeling, especially in the country. It's a small country, and some of us feel the same things every day. You know what I mean? You know, anything would go up, we affected. So if we affected, you know, some people are frustrated. And one of the things I like to do is add a little humor in it, along with a little skit in it, so it could engage you to listen. Rather than just being a straight up song.
Do you feel a social responsibility to tell people's story now?
Yeah, well, according to like how the news always gets something new, you know what I mean? It appears that that's what people waiting on nowadays, you know? So,
So you're leading the charge. That's amazing.
Yeah, I trying to.
How are you handling that responsibility?
Yeah, well, I'm humbled by it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm humbled by it. I obtain a lot of fans. Like you say, a lot of people don't know the face, but they know the voice.
Yeah,
you know what
They
I
get
mean?
that one note.
Yeah, they get
their
the one
WhatsApp
note, and then when they really realize that's me, or when they hear Solo, what you mean? So, oh, it's you.
Exactly.
I hear your songs in my phone. You know what I mean?
Do you have a production team or do you ride
Solo? No production team. It's just me one.
Wow.
Normally when I record, it's between the times of 11, after 11 to 3 o'clock. So it takes about 3 to 4 hours for me to finish the song.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I want to ask you about your opinions on those songs you wrote, just as an individual, just as a civilian, as it pertains to the topic of the bridge toll and how that affects Bahamians. What are your personal views about that?
My personal view about the bridge toll is, let's use this scenario. Let's say that you catch a bus, right? And the bus driver so happens to ride bad and ride on the sidewalk and puncture his tire. Now the bus fee is $1.50 and he tells you, well, the bus got to be $2.50 because they got to fix that tire. That's similar to the bridge because you already paying the bus driver to get you to your destination.
And so it's taxation at every point.
Right. So your $1.50 covers whatever because
Yeah.
that's what he charge you. Now with the bridge is collect money every second. Every second they collect money. We don't know the figure, but we know it's big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's from $1 straight up to $4 for the big trucks and stuff like that. And plus, you know, the residents over there, their prices get hiked too.
Yeah.
Because they have to pay to get home.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So everybody feel it. It may seem like $1, which you could find, but then $1 is a lot when you add it up.
Yeah.
And your thoughts on Bahama?
Bahama. We still trying to figure out what's really going on at Bahama. You know what I mean? It should have been up and running a long time. And a lot of people, I don't like how a lot of people lose their jobs. You know what I mean? Because they have families. You know what I mean? And they got to eat, you know, so it's devastating. You know, that it came to that point where we have a whole building sitting up like a trophy.
Right,
You know what I mean? Which is a landmark now. You know what I mean?
But
so
nothing's going on.
Nothing going on
Yeah.
as yet.
Well, we certainly would love to hear you talk about that and so much more. We didn't even get to half of what we wanted to ask you, but you know what? I understand that you have a little surprise for us because
Yes,
coming on the
I have
show,
a
you knew you were going to be
surprise.
here, and so. Solo actually did a little song for us.
Yes.
We've got a little excerpt of a song for us ladies here on the stew. So I'm really excited to hear this. Let's have a listen.
Many are called but chosen are few. You're watching the stew. Leslie, Anika, Janae will tell you. You're watching the stew. Keep it down slow if you don't believe me. The place to find it is the stew. Looking for a show that is not cheesy, then you need to watch the stew.
Oh, that is amazing. Ladies, what do you think?
Oh man,
I'm like
put that
freaking
on
out right
my
now. I'm
website
like
so I
throwing
can
stuff out about the place.
I gotta show that for sure. Solo, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It's been
you
an
for having me.
absolute pleasure. We gotta have you come
Yes.
back so that we can share some more issues
Definitely.
and what's happening around the town. So thank you once again to Solo for being our Man Crush Monday. We'll be back after this.
Hi guys, this is your Fab Frugal tip of the week. We're just coming off a Hurricane Matthew, so I thought it'd be fitting to really let you know what's available to you now that your pockets have been pretty much emptied. Whether it's roof repairs, whether it's household items that you've lost, or simply you've got to fill up your fridge again, here's what you need to know. So the first thing I want you to know is that the central bank has actually relaxed their lending guidelines. Now, where this doesn't mean much right now because the commercial banks haven't caught on, I still want you to go to your personal loan officer and ask them if there's anything that they can do for you post Hurricane Matthew. You know that if you need credit facilities, it's available. You just need to make sure you get the best rate and make sure you can actually take on something you can handle. Number two, you have to remember that there's actually tax exemption on household items right now for the next 180 days, which started on October 7th. So take advantage of bringing in items such as electrical fixtures, plumbing supplies, home furniture and furnishings, and so much more. You want to make sure that if you can afford it, you bring it in, cut out the middleman, and get everything done right now. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is that you can go to your local retailers and take advantage of the promotions and sales they have going on in light of Hurricane Matthew. But please beware of any price gouging activities. And this is when retailers they pretty much spike up their prices because they can or they feel they could, and it's not reasonable. So if you do see any price gouging activities, you can call the Consumer Protection Commission. They'll take a look at it for you and they'll address it. You can actually go on Facebook at CPC Bahamas and just send them a message. This has been your Fab Frugal Tip of the Week. We're hoping that you do bounce back after Hurricane Matthew. Take heed to everything that's available to you, and we're hoping for a stronger Bahamas tomorrow. We'll see you after the break.
Sunday, Monday, play quick draw. Tuesday, Wednesday, play quick draw. Thursday, Friday, play quick draw. Play Saturday, Sunday, every day just for you. Every 30 minutes is a draw. You can win it all. You can win it. Watch the number fall on 2 to 4. Home of Quick Draw.
Quick Draw, the Bahamas' first live 3-ball game. Exclusively powered by Island Luck.
We're back with the stew. We want to say a special thank you to musical artist Solo, who he really does this thing, I gotta say. He's such an incredible talent, and our Man Crush Monday post Hurricane Matthew. And speaking of Hurricane Matthew, ladies, I know we've learned some very important messages, but what are your final thoughts on the entire issue now that, you know, we're all trying to pick up the pieces?
Final thoughts is prepare. Prepare for everything all the time, even when the sun is out.
Yeah.
Yep.
My thoughts are my thoughts are with everybody who's been affected by Hurricane Matthew. There are, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people are trying to bounce back. So we're with you, and we hope that things work out.
Wonderful. Well, stay tuned for more of The Stew. We'll be right back here on Wednesday, 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. And be sure to look us up on YouTube as well. And follow us, ILTV Studios, all throughout social media. We'll see you next time.
When the vibe is right, we can talk about anything you like. Just listen. Take a walk right over to my kitchen. Oh,